Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Game on Cloud 9 here, and I'm here to bring you guys a new Naruto manga 622 prediction. And in this week's chapter of Naruto 621, Madara and Hashirama had nothing but epicness going on. I mean, we finally get to see this fight, and it's not disappointing so far. I mean, to me, when I'm looking at this fight, it's kind of like how I've been wanting to see the Madara, Obito, Jubi versus Shinobi Alliance fight to somewhat go on. Because you see, of course, the chapter starts off Hashirama, pushing that Bijudama that he caught from the QB into Madara Susanoo. It explodes, big explosion. I was actually surprised to see neither one of them were even slightly injured from that explosion, so I guess you can say that's how durable their techniques are. And of course, right after that, we see Madara surround the QB actually in Susanoo and start trying to slash at Hashirama. Hashirama catches it, and then right after he catches it with this wood, we actually see Madara actually try to slash at him again, end up slicing all the mountains and his wood. So Hashirama ends up running away, pretty much not running away as in like obviously oh, I'm giving up, but he ran away towards this lake trying to get away from Madara so that Madara wouldn't tear up the landscape right on where they were at. He was trying to basically lead him away from, I guess hurting anybody else or possibly maybe, causing more destruction than what they need to. And we end up seeing Madara, go after him. He actually makes this Bijudama, sticks his katana in it, breaks it off, and fires it straight at Hashirama. Hashirama uses the Rashomon gates. They end up not blocking it, somewhat, but I guess basically the main reason for it was to knock off the trajectory, so it actually went away from the landscape and went towards the water. We see it explode on this other landscape. Hashirama has this little speech back and forth with Madara, talking about, "I thought we were friends. Why are we fighting? You're really gonna do this? What our brothers fought for, what our Nakama did." And pretty much Madara says what Sasuke pretty much always says to Naruto, like somewhere on the lines, like, like it's too late now. I'm already gone. I'm already in the darkness. And Hashirama says, "I guess it can't be helped." And what does Hashirama do? He does what I actually came up with a theory video about, like I'd say maybe a few weeks ago. If any of you guys already know, Hashirama, I'm assuming he uses Sage Mode. A lot of people said, and I'm not trying to be the guy that always said, "I told you so, I told you so," because of course, I didn't know for a fact. But a lot of people would say to me, like, "Oh, that's stupid, it makes no sense, why would he use Sage Mode?" But I always had the theory, like, there's more to Wood Style. I mean, to me, okay, no, like some people just say, "Oh, it's his Kekkei Genkai, it's his Kekkei Genkai," but it seemed a little bit more to me than just his Kekkei Genkai. I'm not saying it's been confirmed that Wood Style is directly connected to Senjutsu, but to me, I thought of the idea like, okay, Kabuto Contemporary give life to things using Sage Chakra. So I kind of thought, wouldn't it be kind of interesting, and maybe when Hashirama takes Earth Style and Water Style, that he also combines Sage Chakra with it, thus creating wood. And I thought, not only that, but Hashirama had to have something else. He had to have some type of transformation other than just his Kekkei Genkai. And what did we see this week? We saw him have Sage Mode. So, and the reason why we can confirm this Sage Mode, not just because of the markings, because some people may think I'm just saying it because of the markings, but he even says something along the lines like Senpo, and I forgot what the actual name for the jutsu that he uses, but it's something along the lines like, I think like 1,000 Wood Buddha or something like that, where it has like 1,000 arms. And this thing is huge. I mean, this thing is larger than mountains. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty darn big. I mean, it makes the QB look really small. So, yeah, so, he ends up using Sage Jutsu, and Madara and Hashirama at the, towards the end of the chapter, we see the thing stand up, and then, he's like, "Let's go, Hashirama," and he's like, "Come, Madara," and then they end up clashing. Well, from what we can see, it looks like they end up clashing, because, it ends up leading us into a flashback of actually their childhood, and I would assume which is their first meeting. Now, what I was going to say actually in the beginning of this review/prediction, when I was relating it to Obito, Madara, and the Jubi, is that this fight so far has very little talking, which I enjoy for like a really epic fight. I mean, don't get me wrong now. I do like your fights where, you have, a little bit of talking here or there. You got, sometimes you have an occasional, maybe a little small flashback just to add a little emotion to the fight. but which I guess you could say is some of what we're getting right here. But my problem with Obito, Jubi, and the Madara fight is that so far, I mean, it's nothing but speeches. Like, we're not even getting much action. With this, it's like back and forth. To me, the setup for this fight so far is excellent. Everything that's been going on, the pacing is very well done for, a fight. You have a few words here or there, but most of it is attacks. Most of it is them counter each other, and the comments that they do make have to do with what they're doing in battle, not necessarily, let me talk about, what we had for dinner this week or something like that. You know what I mean? I mean, that's pretty much how I feel like the Obito, Jubi, and like Shinobi Alliance fight's been going. So I am glad Kishimoto's handling this pretty well, especially since this fight's been hyped up so much, even though we already know it happened and we know who wins. The victor of this fight, or I should say this fight as a whole, we've all wanted to see it for a while. So I'm glad it's being taken care of very nicely. Overall, I mean, I would say, the chapter, yeah, I think it moved along pretty nicely. It ended on a good note with the flashback, seeing how they met. I'm thinking that pretty much, now we're going into flashback of their childhood. We're probably going to get a few chapters building up back to the point where they got, where we ended up seeing them back at the Valley of the End. Like, this is pretty much, I think, where we're seeing the thousand armed Buddha standing up, and the QB Susanoo, or I should say the Susanoo QB thing that Madara decided to form with the QB, the little fusion. I think that right there, when we see that thing stand up, that's probably getting close to maybe like their final clash, kind of like Naruto and Sasuke with the Chidori and Rasengan. And maybe that's what ultimately creates the valley. Because I don't really think that, I don't really think that we're going to get. I think kind of like where he set this fight, we're kind of towards the end of it, seem like they're pulling out like all the stops right now. Since we didn't really see when the fight exactly started, it's like we just caught it right in the middle. So yeah, I do think we're probably gonna, like, the next few chapters are gonna be pretty much build up, seeing how Madara actually transformed. I think that's what Hashirama's trying to show to Sasuke, or tell Sasuke right now, like, yo, me and Madara used to be friends. This is what ultimately ended up happening. And probably he's probably gonna talk about the death of Izuna and show how it exactly had happened. I mean, probably maybe Izuna actually. Maybe the Senju, because we all know they fought. Maybe this. I don't think the Senju. I have a feeling Senju didn't kill Izuna, but maybe the Senju didn't save Izuna. Like, maybe Izuna was caught in some type of situation where maybe Tobirama was around, could have saved Izuna, said forget it, I don't care about them, and then that hurt Madara, therefore thus not trusting the Senju. Because I have a feeling when he shook hands with them and said, yeah, let's form this alliance, let's form the Hidden Leaf, that he did trust him at some point. This is how at least they're portraying it right now. That the fact that we actually found out that they used to be friends lets us know, okay, there was some trust between Hashirama and Madara at some point. So what was the breaking point? And it seems like probably Izuna was the breaking point. Maybe when he didn't trust him, it has to probably do with directly the Senju clan, thus re-sparking the rivalry or the war between the Senju and the Uchiha. And making it even worse, because of the death of Izuna. Kind of like, I guess, like, just like it's Itachi and Sasuke, how Itachi, when Sasuke found out the truth about Itachi, it pretty much made him have a different outlook on the leaf. So I'm thinking that's probably the case with Izuna, especially since Hashirama kind of, said that, he really did care about Izuna, that was his little brother. And, we also know that, like Madara said it himself, or I should say Obito said, like when he was portraying as Madara, that he cared about Izuna, and that Izuna gave him his eyes, and how after they formed the leaf, he couldn't just let pretty much the death of his brother be for nothing. So I'm thinking that's probably where we're starting to head, and probably going to get to that point. So hopefully the way it all goes down for Izuna is going to be pretty gruesome and pretty sad, actually. A lot sadder than the whole Ren thing, because I know a lot of people hated that. I didn't mind it too much, but I know a lot of people hated how Obito and Ren go. So hopefully, seeing how another death happened in this series and cause a character to go to bad like Madara is, maybe portrayed a lot worse and seen as a lot worse. Or at least hope Kishimoto does a good job with it. But, yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, pretty much those are my overall thoughts on this week's chapter of Naruto. And that's all I really think about it. I mean, Nothing else really much to say other than, we're going to probably get a few chapters there, and we're probably right after, we're probably going to get a build up, and probably when we finish off these flashbacks, it'll probably be seeing the end result of how this fight happened. So I think we'll probably get maybe about 3 to 4 more chapters of this flashback, maybe even 5. And then it'll wrap up, and then obviously Sasuke will go ahead and give his response behind what Hashirama was saying about how he formed the village. Obviously how Madara became the way he is and what he considers to be a shinobi. I'm hoping. I know a lot of people are thinking maybe Sasuke turned good, maybe Sasuke turned good. I'm really hoping he doesn't. And I think that I'm not going to say it'll be horrible, but I kind of don't want him to turn good right now. Like, don't get me wrong, I do want at some point Sasuke to change, but if he changes right now, I kind of feel like the end of the Five Kage Summit was all for nothing. And the reason why I said it is because, well, not even just that, there were some parts of the series I feel like were all for nothing because you hyped up Naruto versus Sasuke Kishimoto for so long. I mean, if there's anything, like, usually as a fan, I don't normally get like annoyed with Naruto. I mean, I know some of you guys out there do get annoyed with it. Normally, for the most part, I'm usually satisfied at least with what's going on. But that would probably piss me off like a lot if we didn't get Naruto versus Sasuke towards the end of the series at least once. I mean, we had it of course in part 1, but like finally a rematch. I mean, even if it's not a fight to the death, they have to fight. That's the way I look at it because you hyped it up so much. I mean, heck, they talked about it so much, about, okay, that did, like, Naruto has to endure Sasuke's hatred. You had the Five Kage Summit, you had the Sai and Sasuke are kind of hyping it up as well. Sasuke even seems like he's ready to fight Naruto, Naruto's ready to fight him. So, I mean, I just feel like that fight needs to go down. I mean, what I don't mind, what I want actually to see from this, and I'm hoping this is the direction he's going, is that what Hashirama is telling Sasuke right now to try to change him doesn't change him immediately. But maybe while Naruto and Sasuke are fighting, maybe what Itachi told Sasuke and what Hashirama told Sasuke keeps Sasuke and has him have an open mind to changing, and maybe Naruto ends up being the one that ultimately ends up changing Sasuke because Sasuke had an open mind. That's what I'm hoping. That's where I'm hoping Kishimoto's going. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on it all. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Put it down in the comment section below. And also, make sure you go ahead and rate this video. So if you did like this video, then don't forget to put a thumbs up. And if you didn't like it, then you can feel free to put a thumbs down. I may come out with another theory video this week. I'm not too sure. If I can think of a good theory as far as maybe how Izuna died or something like that, I'll probably make a video about it. And oh yeah, one more thing, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you did enjoy my content and you'd like to see more of it. Anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. So hopefully this video recorded right, because I probably recorded this video a few times and the audio didn't go right. So anyway, see you later.